but I'm taking guanfacine for my blood pressure, which was given to me for ADHD, but it does nothing for that, but it does affect my blood pressure.
Greetings, small one. Are you prepared to take up arms and destroy those who would stand against us?
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Yes, indeed. It was raining pretty hard this morning. It has momentarily stopped, son of a gun. It was raining hard last night, and, son of a gun. So it's very warm and humid. Yay. But it's a brand new day, and that is a good thing. I slept mostly last night, got to bed late, of course, up before, 5:30. So never much sleep, but at least a little bit, and that's a good thing. Legs didn't cramp up, though they wanted to. A joy on that. But at least, things happen, and that's good. And of course, front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be very cool. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literally beautiful and literally awesome people that are in fact literally beautiful and literally awesome. My income is that's not even English. I am on disability, and it is an exceptionally limited income. And the way that things are going, especially in the United States and inflation, I would not be able to survive without the help of these people. Thank you, each and every one of you. And if you would like to become a patron, I do have links in the show more video description. And if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's a PayPal link. If you'd like to help me out without sending any money at all, there's an Amazon wishlist link with cat food on it. So that'd be very cool. Yay, front loading of videos over. I did not get much done yesterday. Of course, falling asleep issues. Yay, that's always fun. But I'm taking guanfacine for my blood pressure, which was given to me for ADHD, but it does nothing for that, but it does affect my blood pressure. Side effect of that, of course, is it causes sleepiness. Add to that, the Strattera from ADHD can cause sleepiness, which can be intensified by the use of cannabis products. So yeah, I tend to have a whole lot of whammies coming against me, especially since I also had some gluten-filled donut products yesterday. And when I eat gluten, because I'm gluten intolerant, I have the side effect of falling asleep. So I spent a lot of time asleep in my chair yesterday. Did not get a ton done. Played some video games, that's a good thing. Watched some videos, that's a good thing. Tried to be as creative as possible when I went walkies, but because I'm in the middle of a depression trough and doing better physically, so hopefully I'm going to be coming out of it here soon. I'm feeling better physically about things, but not followed up here. So hopefully that'll start to come upward, but I'm still in the middle of that, and that affects my thinking, my concentration, my focus. So went walkies and saw the people that are going around town because of the festival and the carnival of the festival. And today is Sunday, so they're closing off a lot of the streets downtown because there's a car festival to go along with everything. And I would have loved to have taken videos of stuff that I've seen downtown with all this going on, but it's been raining. I do not have a mobile phone that can take video. I have one of these pay by the month flip phone types that is as cheap as possible, because basically I use it for two-factor authentication. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to have my YouTube channel. If you're going to have a YouTube channel, you need to have two-factor authentication, otherwise you can't get in. So I gotta have the cell phone for it. I get the absolute cheapest kind that you can pay for. My video camera is one of those handheld video cam things. Sony thing, probably about, 10 years old now. But it works, and the batteries are fine, and so far, and that's really good. But it's not waterproof in the slightest. I take it out in the rain, and that's going to be the last time I'm going to be able to use it. So can't take it out when it's raining. But if it ever is dry when I'm going out for walkies, and if it's today, then hopefully I'll be able to get some video tonight when I go. That'd be cool. Past that, I am just surviving, trying to be as creative as possible, trying to think about some various things, watching videos as stated as best I can. Oh boy, there is one drama going on between this the entirety of the YouTube community and one fellow whom YouTube made the mistake of citing for. And so, oh boy, the community has been making videos really pointing out every single thing that this person, Quantum TV, has done. The drama is real. Usually I don't care about drama. If it's not something I am directly involved in, it's not going to really bother me. It doesn't affect me. You know, the drama between YouTubers and all that stuff is fine, but this involves people I watch and video gaming stuff, and so I get sucked a little bit into the drama. And oh boy, there is drama, there is doxing, there is just harassment, and it is bad. And somehow YouTube came down on the side of the really horrible person that's been like ban evading. So, horrible drama. Fun to watch, but God, I'm glad I'm not involved. Hokey smokes. So yeah, past that, just out walking. Because of my depression right now, and the fact that Straterra does not work as well as Ritalin did, I'm doing a lot of, like right now, having my nose itch. I am having a lot of just recontextualizing and reworking over stuff that I have done before to make sure that it all works and to remind myself. One of the things that I've been doing is working over the entire cosmology in my head again while out walking to make sure that everything is remembered and working. And I'm speaking from the very beginning when there was nothing. Christian apologists, when they say, how can something come from nothing, are referring to largely a theological / philosophical nothingness, which is something that does not exist in our physical universe. So far, everything that we have seen from physics and reality tells us that even if you remove everything physical out of an area, space is teeming with energy. There is no such thing as nothing in our physical universe. Everything is packed and seething with energy. There is no such thing as an actual nothing that the Christian apologists talk about, because when they say nothing, they're speaking of what I used in my concept for the Ungata, the void that existed before and during and after. It is an infinite thing where there's nothing. It is a theological, physical, philosophical nothingness, because you can't even say that there's nothing there, because if you say that there's nothing there, that implies the concept of something, and if you've got enough of a concept that you can put labels on it, oh my God, that is so claustrophobic. How can you even breathe in here? No, there's too much stuff here for the void. There is nothing in the Ungata, the void. And it was from that there was several layers of reality. There's a tear, singularity, creation. Oh boy, it goes on heavy and deep with the multiverses and universal constants and splitting of our multiverse, which usually multiverses don't do. But there's about 7 versions of our multiverse, because if it can happen in a multiverse, then there will be no split. It has to be something that could not happen in this one to make it split. And there's about 7 of those events. So it's pretty heavy duty on cosmology. I know the entire creation of everything. There's the impossibilities of the cosmic horrors, and I've been running over that because, after all, Dread Amaterasu, she is, I mean, you can't even really call her a she, but she's a she. So Dread Amaterasu, the mother of her 12 children, is impossible in so many ways. I mean, I've mentioned she comes from a multiverse where the universal constants are so different, there is no way to trace in our multiverse anything even close to the multiverse where she exists. And you cannot go to the Ungata, the void, because that is a void, theological and philosophical, as well as a physical and energy-free void. Even more than that, it's the void where if anything enters it, any physical object instantly evaporates into energy. Every form of energy instantly evaporates down into its lowest possible rest state until it hits true vacuum and there's nothing, just pure order. No hope, no possibility, nothing. Nothing will change. Everything is static and dead. No way in, no way out, no way to interact with it. It is gone. And that is what happens when you enter the void. And she swam through the void. And it doesn't matter how far the multiverses are separate between themselves in the Ungata, because the Ungata, the void, has infinite in size. Even if there's only a millimeter of space between, it is infinitely large. You cannot pass through it. And she swam through it. She is a being where basically, as a metaphor, she's an egg layer, and she lays eggs. She became pregnant through uterus, which her species does not have. It does not happen in her multiverse. She has beings in her amniotic sacs that she has within her. Again, impossible. Can't happen. She did it and swam through the void. And you can't. And she did. You cannot detect other multiverses. She landed on ours. So a very, very impossible creature. Very, very terrifying. I have no ideas what, even how. But being that there's not just one layer of reality, because as mentioned, our layers and wavelengths of reality is you could take the entirety of our electromagnetic spectrum and one step up, like from where we are in our multiverse is the Ungatan, the cold and dark. The next stage up is the Ungare. Then when you're closest to the singularity, it is the Ungara. The entirety of our electromagnetic spectrum is the functional equivalent of just the visible light spectrum to the Ungare. And their entire electromagnetic spectrum is the functional equivalent of just the visible light spectrum of those who live in the Ungara. And then when you start stepping upward higher steps, well, again, each step is a functional equivalent of just the visible light spectrum to the step above. To the beings who created the infinite city that is attached to our multiverse, they are many, 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 many steps up, way beyond even the cosmic horrors, whom they took on, of course, the challenge of can we create an area with infinite space and can we people it with infinite peoples? And they did. But they had to sink the foundations of the city into something big enough and strong enough to hold it, which was a multiverse, which was our multiverse. The foundations of the city are part of the multiverse. The city is not a part of the multiverse. The multiverse is a part of the city. But even with the city there is no travel between the two because they are completely separate. People down in the multiverse don't know there's a city. The people in the city don't care about this down here. So I've been working through all that, like when the multiverse splits, when we started off just an absolute normal multiverse and split when the builders decided to put the city on the multiverse. So there's one with no city, then there's one with a city. And then of course it splits because they detect Amagaratsu swimming through the Ungata toward them. And then it splits again when in one multiverse they decide to evacuate. In one they fight and then evacuate, and in another they fight and win. So there are those three splits, one without Amagaratsu and one without a city. 5 different versions of the multiverse. They're all different, and I only write about things happening in one. And it's within one of those multiverses that the conjoined multiverse that I speak about with the razor's edge and the inside and the outside happens. It is just one small multiverse in one small universe within one gigantic infinite multiverse. Because, of course, when the singularity started, it eventually ended up with a too hot zone around the singularity where nothing can form, too cold, the Ungata, everything just freezes out and is gone, so there's a Goldilocks zone. And that's where all these little doors to the singularity opened up. And around each of these doors formed the universal constants. And if they were a universal constant that could sustain a universe, that multiverse survived, would pump out the multiverse configuration, and then with each tick of the Planck clock, the smallest unit of time possible, every single quark and every single configuration has to go through, boom, every single direction that it can possibly go. And then each click, every new quark that has split or halved or created itself anew from that fashion ends up with a new multiverse for each position that it can move to. Which comes down to, in terms of multiverses, yeah, we have no free will if there are multiverses. Because if there is a multiverse where every possible thing can happen, there can be no free will. Because you are just variation X of a person performing variation Y of an action and variation Z of a universe. Every single other universe is formed where you took those other actions. There is no free will in a multiverse. And this is the setting I write about. Yay, Cosmology! I hopefully didn't bore too many of you. Thank you if you have watched all the way through this. It is appreciated to no end. And of course, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my brain works. So, we have Confused L29. It is always good to see you in the comments, my friend. And Jesse Koskinen, hopefully you'll be able to play Morrowind at some point. It is a very fun game, and good to see you in the comments as well. JAYY, thumbs up and thank you. Good to see you as well. Hosabi Covered Nuts. If you watch the videos and want to leave a comment, please do. Don't ever feel that you have to leave a comment just because you need to, even if you're not watching the videos. I don't want to force anybody to do anything. If you leave comments because you enjoy the videos, thumbs up. Do not feel that you have to do so. But thank you and good to see you. There's Bang of Foxes, thumbs up. There is, Lucas, greatly appreciated and good to see you. Ben B, good to see you in the comments as well. Lubomir Tosiv, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. There is Uncle Flute, greatly appreciated. Merrick 3, actually that's yesterday. So 9 people who left me comments in the, however many you do, 9. There we are, 9. 9 comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up, you get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only in text and if only for a short time. Thumbs up and thank you all, it is appreciated. Well, hokey smokes, it's still Sunday, and Sunday's even a slower day than normal on the weekend, so hopefully I'm not going to fall asleep. I got recording I want to do. I want to try and do some Open Daggerfall, just become the all the older Elder Scrolls games channel. But we'll see what happens. I also want to do retro stuff, and now that there's a good emulator for the PlayStation 2, maybe I can even get some recordings of some of that stuff. So we shall see what happens. Hopefully you can get done the things that you want to get done, and if you can't, survival mode. Don't beat yourself up. Do what you have to do to live to the next day, and then try again. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and I quite frankly do think that is a very good idea.